find you there. And he's one of the fathers of Confederation and of the Conservative Party. We've given him a blindfold because we're pretty sure he wouldn't want to see what has become of his country or his party, for that matter. In 1867, representatives of 4 provinces founded Canada, saying that it should be a democratic nation. But what did that mean at the time? In the early years, only those who owned property and had assets of a certain value were allowed to vote. It took more than 50 years of work to extend the right to vote, regardless of how much money or property you had. And 90 years after that, we still haven't bothered to figure out how to consistently get ballot boxes onto university campuses and reserves. Democracy didn't just happen, and neither did the extension of the right to vote regardless of your net worth. We had to fight to get these rights, and now we need to fight to make sure we get to keep them. Throughout this rally, we'll be asking you to join us and stand in solidarity with those who came before by taking a couple of different actions. The first action you can do today is to help us show the Conservative government that people in Regina won't accept this kind of attack on our democracy. You can pick up a postcard, they're over at that table under Sir John A., and add your thoughts. And the great part about it is you just need to drop it in your mailbox today, and it goes to the government for free. You don't even need to put a stamp on it. All you have to do is put your name and your thoughts on it. So next up we have Ralph Goodale. He's the Wascana MP and for the Liberals.
Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming. It is important for Canadians, as is happening here in Regina, many other cities across the country today, and other places last weekend, and I'm sure on many weekends into the future. It is important for Canadians to get together and in a very public way demonstrate that we don't want our democracy taken for granted or abused or corrupted in any way. Professor, your analysis I think is a very interesting one. I had a chance to attend a conference in Ottawa last week about the circumstances in Ukraine and the way in which the government of Ukraine seems to be slipping back from the Orange Revolution, all the hope and excitement of 2004, 2005, and the evidence of repression, anti-democratic practices, the fact that the former Prime Minister is in jail on trumped-up charges, another former minister just gone to jail for the same kind of ruse as the incumbent government abuses the privileges of democracy to actually move away from what was accomplished in the Orange Revolution. And at that conference, in the midst of this Robocon issue in Canada, there were 2 Conservative ministers talking about the sanctity of the right to vote and the importance of making sure that elections were free and fair in Ukraine. I certainly agree with that. It is important for there to be free and fair elections in Ukraine. It's equally important in Canada. And we need to make sure that even though we think our democratic condition is so much more sophisticated and so much more secure than that which presently exists in Ukraine, we need to recognize, as the professor says, you don't take it for granted, because as soon as you do, it begins to weaken and it begins to slip away. And this robocall scam that's been going on is one that really has a remarkable political impact. It's one of those few issues in the last number of years where Canadians will actually stop you in the grocery store or in the park or at the airport or going down the street and say, what in the world is going on? Can this possibly be happening in Canada?